Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today is Halloween. Well, it's not actually Halloween, but it is trunk or treat in my neighborhood tonight. So I'm dressed up in my costume. Do you like it? I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay, I'm done. I can't sing. I'm gonna stop doing that. But last year I tried to watch 31 horror movies for the month of October, and I don't think I quite made it. You guys let me know in the comments if I made it. I can't quite remember. I think I was short like maybe 2 movies. No one's gonna get my costume, huh? Just older people, right? None of the little kids are gonna have any idea who I am, and then the older people are gonna be like, I vaguely remember Where's Waldo. Vaguely. Whatever. I like Where's Waldo, and I loved the Where's Waldo books when I was a kid. So that's my tangent. Now we're going to get back to the movies. So my goal this year was to, again, try to watch 31 movies for the month of October for Halloween. So that would equate a movie a day. But since I'm uploading this a little bit early because one, today is technically our Halloween in my neighborhood, and two, I am actually flying out of town on Halloween, so I won't have a chance to get this video to you on the 31st. So we're doing it a little bit early, and because we're doing it a little bit early, I probably didn't make it, because again, that would be one movie a day, and I'm pretty sure I did not watch one movie a day. However, there were some days where I did watch 2 movies a day. So that might have made up for it a little bit, but regardless, let's check out what I watched for Halloween this year. First up, we have Ganja and Hess. This is about he's like a doctor, scientific doctor, and he ends up being turned into sort of a day-walking vampire by his assistant. His assistant's wife, she comes looking for her husband, and the doctor ends up turning her into a day walker as well. Now, the movie is a bit slow, and it's very artsy. So it might not be for everybody, but I did actually enjoy it once I got into it. It took me a little bit to get into it, I will admit that, and I did have to start it over after maybe like 5 or 10 minutes to make sure that I had all the details right. But after I did that, I was really intrigued by this movie. It is a classic in my opinion. It needs to be viewed by more people, and it is one of the staples of black horror. So if you haven't seen Ganja and Hess, I will not spoil the ending for you, but please do check this one out. Next up, we have Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. This was a really good one. In this one, Kevin Bacon is a kind of a family man, a blue-collar family man, and the house that he moves into, he starts to have these visions, and he ends up having to use these visions to help guide him to solve a mystery. And this was great. I really enjoyed it. It kept me on my toes the whole way through, and yeah, if you have a chance, check out Stir of Echoes. I highly recommend this one. Next, we have Jeepers Creepers. So this one I actually picked up at Big Lots. It was a couple of bucks, and I've never seen any of the Jeepers Creepers before. It was one of those where it held my attention just because I was like, well, I gotta find out the mystery now. But past that, I could kind of take it or leave it. The Creeper was okay. I'm still not into. I want more answers about the lady who showed up at the police station, who knew like what was going on, who was having like visions or something. I want more information about her. Maybe they talk more about her in Jeepers Creepers 2. I'm not entirely sure, but I would love to get some more details on that aspect of the movie. Otherwise, everyone's seen Jeepers Creepers except for me, and apparently except for me, and you've got your own opinions on it by now. I don't need to give you a whole entire rundown on Jeepers Creepers, but this was the third film that I did watch. Next, we have The Intruder. This one is with Megan Good, Michael Ealy, and Randy Quaid's brother, Dennis Quaid. So this one is about a married couple, which is Michael Ealy and Megan Good, who buy a house from Dennis Quaid. Turns out Dennis Quaid is a little bit kooky and he doesn't quite know how to let go at all. I enjoyed this one. I've seen this one a couple of times, but this was the first time that I have watched it in a few years, and I will definitely give it another watch because it always keeps me on the edge of my seat. If you haven't seen this one, please do check out The Intruder, especially if you like a good thriller. Next, we have Black Christmas. I don't know what I thought I was going to get when I put this movie in, but it definitely was not what I got. This is a leave it for me. I'm not too enthused by Black Christmas. It's about these sorority girls, and one of them has been a victim of an SA incident, and the guys are just kind of douchey. And then it turns out that they're really kind of douchey. I don't know if I could say they're douchey on YouTube. Well, I did, so. But if you haven't seen Black Christmas, go ahead and check this one out as well. This was movie number 5. So far, I'm doing pretty good. The Eve was my next pickup. This is about a group of friends. A couple of them are, well, they're 4 friends, and they're like 2 couples within those 4 friends. So they go to a kind of a secluded beach cabin for New Year's Eve. And things start to happen. People start to disappear. People start to die. And they ultimately need to figure out who is causing all of this havoc on New Year's Eve. Is it one of them, or is it someone else on the beach? This was okay. I think it was very good for possibly the budget that they had and what they could do. So, like, you know, for the type of movie it was, I think it was a good story. It had a good plot. The acting left a lot to be desired, in my opinion, but you can't win them all. However, for what they were working with, I think The Eve was pretty good. But it was, you know, whew, almost lost that one. So this is number 6, The Eve. Next, we have Gothika with Halle Berry and Robert Downey Jr. Now, I know everyone had seen Gothika before. I had not. This was my first time seeing Gothika, and I have to tell you, I was enthused the whole way through. I don't know what it is. Okay, so here's the thing. I saw that movie, the new movie with Halle Berry. What's it called? You know the one that I'm talking about, where she's got the twin boys and they're out there in the woods and there's nothing left, right? So I saw that and I started thinking about like what other movies Halle Berry had been in. And I was like, oh man, I've seen so many Halle Berry movies, but I haven't seen Gothika. This will be a great addition to my horror watches for this month. So I did pick up Gothika. I did enjoy it. At each point in time where I thought I knew ultimately like who the bad guy was, I was proven wrong. And maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. But I didn't see it coming. Initially, I'm not going to tell you who I thought because that's going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. But This was a great horror thriller mystery, and it kept me on my toes the entire way through. If you have not seen Gothica, please give it a watch. What number is this? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. The next movie that I watched is called Hanukkah. I'll be honest, this one lost me for a couple of reasons. The plot was a little loosey-goosey, but more than that, this was a very, very bad Blu-ray, to the point where I thought about just chucking it, because the sound and the picture don't match up. So I can't remember if the sound was ahead or behind, but regardless of what it was, they just didn't match up. So it took me out of the movie a lot. When I started to really realize it, I thought I was struggling with this movie. I really was. So this, even though I did watch it, I'm only going to half count it. I'm going to count it as a watch, but I'm not really going to count it as any sort of enjoyment, because the Blu-ray is such a terrible copy, terrible transfer. I don't know who put this out. Is this Scream Factory? I don't know who put this out. But hopefully they have fixed the issues for any reprinting that they've done to this, because it was just terrible. It was a terrible watch. The plot fell apart because I couldn't keep up with who was saying what. It was just all bad. So we're counting it, but we're not. So this is 8. Number 9, we have Frailty with Bill Paxton. Now, I generally like Bill Paxton movies. This one was really good. I feel like... Okay, so I went into this one blind. As much as everyone talks about Frailty in this movie and everything and how amazing it is, I had never seen it before. So I went in completely blind. I had no idea what this movie was going to be about. And I was surprised that there were so many spiritual elements to it. But this was really good. I did really enjoy this. It is about a man with 2 sons, and the man is convinced that he is ridding the world of demons. However, one of the sons is not so convinced. And it's kind of the journey between the father and the son of convincing the son, maybe ultimately. Who knows if he did or didn't. You'll find out when you watch. And then the progression after that. So, check out Frailty. This was number 9. Next, we have The Haunting in Connecticut. Now, this is based on a true story about a family who moves into a home in Connecticut that was built on that used to be like a former, I think it was a mortuary, I think. This is based on a true story. If you have not seen this, go look up the story before you watch it. I think it helps to kind of ground you in the setting a little bit more and ground you in the struggle that these characters were having as a family. As a whole, though, they say this movie is terrifying. I was not scared at all. There was possibly one jump scare that got me a little bit, but past that, I was not bothered in any way at all by this movie. This was very tame. So I hate that I used it as a Halloween movie, because there was nothing that got me going. But the story itself can be scary. It has to be a little bit horrifying living in what you're pretty sure is a haunted house. So if you haven't seen The Haunting in Connecticut, I do recommend it, even though it did not scare me. I do recommend that you give it a shot. Hood of Horrors. Next up, we have Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. This one was actually this was kind of a random pickup at my used DVD Blu-ray store in town. I had never heard of this before. I did not know that this was a thing. I was but you know, it's good for what it is. I can't really tell you much about it. It didn't hold my attention that well. I can tell you that I think Aries Spears and Derwin Ding Dong Davis are in this. Pooch Hall. That's his real name. But I will always refer to him as Derwin Ding Dong Davis. Just I will probably always call Tia Mowry Girl Melanie. But that's beside the point. That's a different thing that we're not talking about right now. That has nothing to do with this. If you have time to kill and you don't have anything else to watch, please go ahead and check out Snoop Dogg's Hood of Horrors. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's not an Oscar winner, but it is entertaining. Next, we have Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This was pretty good. It is an older flick. It's black and white, so if you can tolerate that, good. If you can't, this probably isn't for you. So this was actually a good watch. I did enjoy this. The 4K does look pretty good. If you like black and white movies, if you like black and white horror, please go ahead and check out Invasion of the Body Snatchers. 12. That was number 12. Number 13, we have Men. This is an A24. It is about a woman whose husband will say that he might have deleted himself, or he might have simply fallen off the balcony. Not entirely sure. I think that's the point. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters if he jumped on purpose or if he fell and slipped and fell. I don't think that's the point. But it is about this woman's journey after her husband, who she had planned to leave, has died. And she goes and rents kind of a country home, and all of the men around, the man she rents from, the man in town, the man at the bar, the cop, the priest, all of these men have some things going on. And as the movie progresses, you will find out what those things are. I admit, I got to the end of this movie and I still had questions, but they were the good type. They weren't like, well, why was that stupid? These were questions where I was like, oh man, there's something deeper happening here, and I am gonna have to watch this movie again just to see if maybe I can catch a few more tidbits and sprinkles of information the second time around. I truly enjoyed Men from A24. 13. That was number 13. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Next up, we have Frogs. I bought this movie purely because I'm absolutely terrified of frogs. I have been afraid of frogs since I was a small child. And when I say afraid of frogs, I mean petrified of frogs. Like, I don't want to look at them. I don't want it to touch me. It's psychologically deep and probably something I should work out in therapy. But I bought this movie because I was like, even if it's bad, the frogs are gonna scare me. And you know what? They did. the frogs in every shot. They got the most horrifying shots of these frogs. And the movie wasn't half bad. So if you are into kind of campy 70s B movie horror, please check out Frogs. Next up, we have Nightmare Beach, which is about a bunch of young adults kind of on spring break enjoying themselves, and there just so happens to be a murderer running loose on a motorcycle. This was actually pretty good. This takes us through kind of catching him, who he ultimately is, who the police are pointing fingers at along the way. So this was a very good watch. I did truly enjoy Nightmare Beach. If you enjoy a campy 80s thriller, please check out Nightmare Beach. It doesn't get any better than Chopping Mall, does it? No, it does not. So this was great for me. I enjoyed this all the way through. It is an 80s film about mall security robots who end up they're programmed to protect the mall after hours from intruders. However, there happen to be some people who are still in the mall after hours, and they have to end up dealing with these robot security guards. And this was fantastic. If you like films like RoboCop, this is definitely for you. Check out Chopping Mall. What number is that? What number are we on now? So we got, this is number 16. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Next we have Escape Room. So I got Escape Room and we'll just pull them both up. Escape Room and Escape Room Tournament of Champions, because I had seen one of these and I couldn't remember which one. It turns out it was Escape Room Tournament of Champions. But I had seen one and I couldn't remember which one, so I wanted to watch them both. So that way I knew the whole story. So I watched Escape Room and this was really good. I did enjoy it. This movie epitomizes exactly why Black people don't go to escape rooms. We don't do it. No, because there's always something going on. You never know when something diabolical is gonna go down. This was good. I enjoyed it. I do want more escape room films. I feel like this could be an entire franchise that that we could build on. I think if we can make 10 or 11 or 12 or however many Fast and Furious movies, we can definitely make like 5 escape room movies. Basically, the premise of this is 4 or 5 young individuals have gone through certain things in their life, and now they are trapped in these horrible escape rooms that are ultimately designed to kill them off as they move through. And each room is based on someone's trauma. So, and the person who gets out at the end is the winner because everyone else dies. So I did watch Escape Room and Escape Room Part 2, Escape Room Tournament of Champions. I really, really, really would like to see an Escape Room 3. I don't know what we're going to call it. We're going to call it, I don't know, Escape Room 3 Final... I don't know what we're calling it. Escape Room 3... Escape Room 3 is what we're going to call it. So, if you have a chance, check out Escape Room. Check out Escape Room Tournament of Champions. And let me know what you think. What are we on? What are we on? Is that 17 and 18? That is 17 and 18. So far, I'm actually doing pretty good. Next up, we have Ghost Ship. Now, I've seen this movie a few times, but I haven't seen it in a while, so I did want to go ahead and give it a rewatch. And you know what? Sometimes this movie is really great to me, and other times this movie is just to me. I think here's what it is. The opening sequence of this movie is so fantastic that the rest of the movie just could never live up to it. You get the best shock in the opening sequence of this movie that there's no way at all for the rest of the movie to even come close to that. So it's not that the rest of the movie is bad. It's just that the rest of the movie could not be as good as what happens in the first few minutes of this movie. So basically, this movie is about a bunch of a shipwreck hunting people. I don't know what they do. What do you call those people who like go out and look for shipwrecks? Those people. They go out and they are looking for a wreck that had a lot of gold on it. And ultimately they find it. So, but things get hairy after they do. If you're in the mood and you haven't seen Ghost Ship, there's a lot of ghosts on the ship. That tells you everything you might need to know about what happens when the treasure hunting, ghost ship finding, ghost ship plundering. I don't know. Are they pirates? Do you call them pirates? What do you call them? What do you call them? Doesn't even say what you call them. Well, moving on. Number 20, we have Tales from the Crypt, Demon Knight. I watched this one purely because I had not seen it before, and, you know, why not, right? There's nothing like a good movie with Billy Zane and Jada Pinkett. Before she was Jada Pinkett Smith, unless she's not Jada Pinkett Smith anymore. I don't know what those people do. They are confusing. So I just live and let live. You guys do whatever you're doing. I'll call you whatever you ask me to call you. Jada Pinkett Smith, Jada Pinkett not Smith today, Jada Pinkett Smith Rock, Jada Pinkett Shakur. I don't know. Back to the point. This was good. I did thoroughly enjoy. We might cut all of that out because, woo, that was a tangent. So if you're in the mood for something slightly campy with a little bit outdated visual effects, but still a great storyline, please check out Demon Knight. Especially if you love Billy Zane. Don't you love Billy Zane? Oh my goodness. How do you not love Billy Zane? Whatever. So that's 20. How are we doing so far? How are we doing so far? I don't know. Next we have Motel Hell. Try not to get the glare there. There we go. Motel Hell. This was a letdown for me. Honestly, I don't know what I expected going into this. It was the first time that I had seen this movie, and it's probably the last time I'll see this movie. I had a lot of questions. There were a lot of things that didn't make sense, didn't add up. I didn't understand why. Just why. But the owners of a hotel are essentially kind of wreaking havoc on the town, the customers, the patrons. They're growing things in their garden that they shouldn't be. It was a lot. There was a lot happening here, and I just didn't particularly care for any of it. So Motel Hell will be one that I do pass on to someone else. Even though it's a pretty nice steelbook, but it just wasn't for me. This is 21 though, right? So we're doing. For number 22, we have Abby. This movie was a trip. Oh my goodness. So this is about a woman who becomes possessed by a spirit that somehow manages to leave, I think it was a cave somewhere, like way far. Like somehow a spirit in an African cave came and possessed this woman, And she just turned into, she was a trip. Oh my goodness. Um, if you have not seen Abby, please, please, it's not, maybe there's a Blu-ray copy because this DVD copy is not the best, but I don't know. This is a movie that needs to definitely be preserved and well kept and looked after and restored if there is no other copy than this DVD. But yeah, this movie was great. If you like possession movies, demonic possession movies, please check out Abby and the whirlwind adventure that she takes the gentleman in her life on. 22. We're doing good. Number 22. We're doing number 23 now. This is number 23. We have Creepshow. Everyone's seen this. I don't need to talk much about it. It has a few different stories told within this movie. It's kind of like it's an anthology. I loved the transitions in this. I thoroughly enjoyed the little comic book transitions and how they flipped through. My favorite story, my favorite little story, was the one with Ted Danson on the beach. I really enjoyed that one. Oh my goodness, that was great for me. But past that, if you like movies where they tell you small stories within a big film, definitely check out Creepshow if you have not seen it. 23. 23. Number 23. 24. Dark Water. This is I think it was either Japanese or Korean. Japanese. This is a Japanese film about a mother and a daughter who move into a new to them and old to everyone else apartment complex, and things start to get a little bit weird. It turns out that the apartment above them is a little bit haunted, and the movie kind of walks you through why, and it takes you on the mother's journey to save her daughter from what is haunting them. This was a great film. It kept me engaged the entire time. If you don't mind reading subtitles, then I would definitely recommend this movie for you. If you do mind reading subtitles, it's probably not for you. But if you have time, definitely check out Dark Water. What did I say this was? I said this was 24? 24. 25, we had Snoop Dogg's Bones. Just because I felt like watching it again. It had been a long time since I'd seen it. So I watched Bones. 26, we have Monkey's Paw. Now, this one I watch purely because I've seen so many other monkey paw stories, right? And so, because I've seen so many other monkey paw stories, I had an expectation that this would be more along those lines, and it wasn't. But, hey, what are you going to do? I got to stop having expectations. I learned that many videos ago, right? That I shouldn't have expectations, except if I go to the land of expectations. If you haven't seen the Phantom Toll Booth, you won't get that reference. So anyway, Monkey Paw, if you want to check it out, great. If you don't, that's fine too. It was one of those where you could take it or leave it. Take it or leave it, and I did. I took it, and then I decided after I watched it that I will leave it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26. I'm doing good. It's 26. The Dentist and the Dentist Part 2. I have to say I didn't really know what I was expecting going into this movie. I got it because I was like, oh man, I have a terrible fear of dentists. Let's see how crazy this guy is. But he was crazy in a different way. I can't say that I completely blame the guy for going off the deep end. He kind of had a right to lose his mind. So this is about a dentist who goes a little cuckoo after he finds out that his wife has not been entirely faithful to him. After that, he starts having a difficult job performing his job because he's very in his head about everything that he's seen. So this is The Dentist, and The Dentist Part 2 was also included in here as well. I can't say too much about the first one without spoiling it, and then if I spoil the first one, I would, if I tell you about the second one, I spoil the first one entirely. So I can't really tell you about the second one at all. But if you are interested in a good psychological horror type of film, please check out The Dentist. And I'm counting this as 2 because it is The Dentist and The Dentist 2. So, what did I say? I don't remember where we are. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Second to last, we have Imaginary. What did y'all do to me? Huh? What did y'all do to me? Why did y'all make me watch this movie? Why? Why? Oh, goodness. You know, sometimes a movie is not good, but it's not bad either. And then other times a movie is bad. This one was just not good. It was bad. It was bad for me. I did not enjoy Imaginary. I will say the kid was a decent actor. She kept me engaged through the movie, and she was probably the most engaging thing in the movie because the movie was not good. Plot holes and just stuff like none of it. If you're gonna make a movie based on an imaginary friend, I need you to sell it. You gotta come correct. You have to give it all to me, and it's gotta make sense. I don't want to be able to poke holes in it just because it's an imaginary friend. I want it to make sense. And for this one, what are we doing? What are we doing? And why? Why? I said why. That's what I wanted to know the whole entire time, was why. Why are we going through this? What are we doing? Why is this even happening? Imaginary, number 29. Last up, we have Insidious, The Last Key. Now, I had seen this one before, but it had been some time since I saw it. And the reason that I watched it is because my friends and I are planning to watch The Red Door Halloween night. So I wanted to make sure that I was refreshed, and I watched The Last Key again. And I did. And this is also the last movie that I watched this month. Unless you want to count The Red Door, which I will be watching on the 31st. If you count The Red Door that I will be watching on the 31st, I think I make it to 30 movies. Let's run through them again and check. Let's double check. So we had 1, 2, 3. Oh, this was The Dentist and The Dentist 2. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, we might make it. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's 30, not including The Red Door. Once I watch The Red Door on the 31st, that will be 31. So, did I make it? Kind of. If you don't want to count it that way, that's cool too. We can say that I only did 30, and I'll do better next year. Maybe next year I'll shoot for 40, right? I'm doing better. I'm getting closer every year. I'm getting closer every year. So next year I will shoot for, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to set myself up like that. I'm setting myself up for failure. Why would I do that? No, next year we will shoot for 31, without a doubt 31. If I go over that, we will give me bonus points. Don't you guys want to give out bonus points? Maybe not bonus points, maybe like a gold star, like back when we were kids. I could use a gold star. I could use a self-esteem boost. It's okay to get a gold star as an adult, I'm sure. I'm dressed up like Where's Waldo as an adult, so it's gotta be okay, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. I've gained a few subscribers since the last video, and I absolutely appreciate it. I love who's watching. I love you guys. You all. I have to get used to saying you all. I'm from a state that says you guys for everybody. We don't discriminate. Everybody's you guys. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.